Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is 1Life2Play Live. I'm your host, Larry Braz.
And I'm P90.
And we are in the studio now. We are in Man Cave Studios here in Cleveland, Ohio, the hardy place where we like to talk video games. Man Cave Studios is what we call it. 1Life2Play you can find on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube now. YouTube's everywhere. We're part of YouTube. We want you guys to go over to our channel, 1Life2Play. It's the number 1, the number 2. Make sure you put that in. Subscribe to our channel. We appreciate all you guys who are subscribing to our videos and liking our videos. But we're here tonight to talk about some video games. So we usually like to start our whole segment, our whole spiel that we do when we talk these video games off with what we've been playing this past week. And we do that in a little segment that we like to call Around the Room. So
let's get that started.
Let's get you around the room. So we actually hope those videos are rolling pretty nicely. But right now we are going to Around the Room. So let's start off with P90. What have you been playing this past week?
Well, you know, I got to play some League of Legends, not as much as usual. I've been cut back huge on game time, so I did play a ranked game. I scored big with Timo.
Right.
We have also played some Plants vs. Zombies on mobile and at home, especially after that boss mode that we had last week. So
this is Plants vs. Zombies on mobile. Back to retro.
Both, though. On mobile and on the home system.
Okay.
You gotta have that boss mode, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I've been playing boss mode too. Actually, I've been playing Plants vs. Zombies, so we're kind of intertwined there and Around the Room.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing boss mode on the Xbox One. And what's really nice in the Xbox One feature is using smart glass. So what I didn't know is I could actually sit on the couch and play Plants vs. Zombies, you know, as a zombie or as a plant, just rolling around. Somebody else with smart glass playing boss mode off of like the Surface. You know, they're in there playing boss mode, helping us out with the heals, the revives, and all that stuff. So I think that's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. So that's about it for you.
And what was the last one? Some Family Guy and some Simpsons.
Family Guy. You and LEM have been playing Family Guy, and LEM is in the studio in Man Cave Studios as well. He is behind, not even really behind the glass anymore, because he has a whole little section to himself now, right?
Yeah.
So I need to find this guy. He's somewhere on here.
Headed.
No. You're right there. You're right there.
Cool.
So, all right. So this is LEM. LEM, what have you been playing this past week? It has been obviously some Simpsons too, right?
It's been a lot of mobile, man. I do gotta thank a little device, the stylus. It's helped me to go back into the mobile playing aspect. So I've been jumping. I went from tapped out, literally, like I couldn't even take it no more. It was too much to do. So now I pick up a stylus. I jump from Simpsons tapped out, Family Guy, Plants vs. Zombies. Now we're talking not Garden Warfare. We're talking the first Plants vs. Zombies, the original mixture of addiction.
The first touch. The first real touch.
That brought people to the addict mode, which is Garden Warfare.
The tap, or I guess the first real tapper then, right?
Yeah,
the first real tapper.
Yeah, you could say that, because it was a clicker back then, because we was on the computer playing it.
It was a clicker.
Clicking away.
Okay.
But, and from there I went to a blade slinger, which is like a hack 'em slash 'em Devil May Cry type thing.
I do have to interrupt and say that it looked really well. It looked awesome. Yeah,
right?
You grabbed it really quick, right?
Yeah, I grabbed it and I was shooting and I was slashing, but it reminded me like of Gambit or somebody like that Wild Wild West kind of gunslinger. It was pretty cool. The texture compression, everything was looking really like HD.
You guys kind of make me want to go back to Android.
Check it out.
Android gaming.
I know you have to have the HTC One. You got that somewhere, don't you?
Yeah, I do have that somewhere. Maybe I can just load it up to Wi-Fi, right? And just get on there and just grab some stuff, all right?
Yeah. Sega!
It's over to Sega. All right. So LEM is over there now with his little soundboard. How you liking your soundboard over there, LEM?
I do like it. I'm doing some technical difficulties on some other screens, but the soundboard is running
Okay.
at maximum.
Now, and you are hooked up to some Awesome Knots right now too. So
Wow.
I know we've actually got some Awesome Knots on remote play for LEM.
In the Vita.
That's in the Vita. Yeah. So actually, you got control. Why don't you go into some Awesome Knots too while you're at it? Maybe you can actually take some control there with the Vita while we talk about maybe what I've been playing. That's it right there. That's that 2K14. That's what I've been playing. So you see it. You see it right there.
Yeah, I had to close this application because we are not. We haven't started that bit of the show yet.
Yeah, so I've been playing some 2K14, and I actually got through the entire season of my career, the first season. I won the finals. I am now a champion. That is one, notch on my belt that I've got taken care of. If I want to make it to the Hall of Fame, I'm feeling pretty good about it now. So, hey, that was 2K14. I don't know if I'm really getting back into it again. I'm thinking maybe picking up, Madden, but at the same time, I know there's a new Madden coming out in August, so I might wait for that. And I think the real thing is I'm getting the itch, man. I'm getting that itch. I need a new game.
I was thinking the same thing. It's like I have fun with the games that we got, but I'm like, I'm looking for that next. What's going to be the next game that's going to come out? You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm getting old because I feel old, man. I mean, I want that new game right now, and I'm like playing on my phone more than I'm playing console games. I'm playing on my computer more than my console games, but it's like it's because that next big game didn't come out. So
it's not out yet. I'm waiting for Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs will be up soon, so we have a nice little I guess vignette, so to speak. They released something earlier today in some Watch Dogs. Maybe we'll get into that later in the show, but I'm waiting for Watch Dogs. That comes out at the end of this month, and that's pretty much all that is left, right? Is there anything else on that? We got Destiny. We got to wait for that. We got to wait for Call of Duty. We got to wait for everything else. But I am happy. We'll start talking some Nintendo news later in the show. But I am happy. What's that?
And you couldn't hear it, but that is Batman.
Oh, Batman?
We are waiting for a little bit of Batman.
We're waiting for Batman. I guess. I don't know. I'm not that excited for Batman.
But my point is that it's a long time till Batman comes. Still,
it's a while.
There's a while now for it to. It's not going to be here for a while.
Yeah. So we want you guys to participate in the show. Make sure you guys find us on Twitter at 1Life2Play. Go ahead and send us the tweets. We'll be reading tweets later in the show and actually be giving away a couple of 30-day passes to Xbox Live on the show. All you got to do is follow us on Twitter, send us a tweet. If we read your tweet live on the show, you'll get one of those 30-day passes on the show. So I guess it's about time that we get into some news, right? Let's just go ahead and do the news. Let's do it. All right, so I don't even know if that whole video played. It just kind of like just paused right there at the beginning. But hey, this is the news time. So we got a couple things that came up in the news today. But one in particular that kind of just like broke today. It's really weird that they filed this lawsuit. So it turns out that ZeniMax, a company that formerly employed the likes of John Carmack, so he's like the founder of what we know today as first-person shooters inside of Doom, and founded id Software and all those things, and did all that stuff with video games. He's a real legend in video games, but he left ZeniMax and he is now the technical director or technical lead for Oculus VR, which is now making the Oculus Rift.
Okay.
ZeniMax is now purporting in a court of law that they stole code, or that John Carmack stole code from ZeniMax, or while he was working with ZeniMax or at ZeniMax, and took it over to Oculus, and that's how they're able to make this VR system now. So, I don't know. What do we make of this?
What makes virtual reality so exclusive to like being proprietary? What is the word I'm looking for?
Proprietary.
Just to Google Oculus, like why?
So I guess this is Facebook's Oculus. This is Facebook's.
Okay.
Because Facebook, I guess, for $2 billion bought Oculus VR.
Okay.
So now they own this Oculus. So in this whole open letter, that there was an open letter from ZeniMax and also a lawsuit. They voted to Oculus VR and also voted to Facebook too. But I mean, I get what you're saying. So you're saying like, what makes VR? What in VR did you say like it's ours? You can't take that away. Like, what's about it?
Well, that's the case. There's a long way of that coming. Nintendo had their hand in that too. Sony has their hand in that now.
So even maybe Microsoft has their hand in some sort of VR with the Kinect, right?
Right.
I mean, that's all of that. But
they're practicing for it, so they're capturing your motions now and practicing it. So you have an arena to step into,
right?
And it'll kind of always lead you. I don't know how to explain it. It just knows where you are in that area and keep you in that area while you're playing the game as well.
So what about it? It just seems like anybody who wanted to do VR, that's how you're going to do VR, right? Like, I mean, that's the name of it. It's virtual reality, so you need to put a helmet on. Yeah. You're going to step in there. So what about this particular code? And I think that's what they're not talking about. So, like, this is coming from a spokesperson in ZeniMax. They provided this over to IGN, of all places, actually. So IGN said, or actually they say, that ZeniMax's intellectual property rights arise by reason of extension VR research and development works done over a number of years by John Carmack while a ZeniMax employee and others. They later state ZeniMax provided necessary VR technology and other valuable assistance to Palmer Luckey and other Oculus employees in 2012 and 2013 to make the Oculus Rift a viable VR product superior to other VR market offerings. So, like, they made it a viable product.
Oh, good for you!
Did that mean that somebody else wouldn't have done it? Like, it's VR. Like, somebody would have made it viable. So, who are they suing John Carmack and Facebook because you succeeded in making VR? Like, oh no, you're successful, we're gonna sue you. Or are they suing them because they actually took something from them? I don't think like they took anything. It's just the VR, right?
Right. So it was no improvement. Nobody stole nothing. Is what you're saying.
My point is if that's the case, then they didn't all get sued for using VR.
They all need to get sued.
So if that's the case,
there is no patent on this VR.
Like virtual reality is patented. I would say.
But patent. So wait. What about virtual reality? Are you patenting
the code that they're writing? Right.
The code that you wrote.
If that's the case, whoever made the first television needs to be suing everybody because now everybody's making television.
Well, then maybe they're getting some royalties from it. I don't know at that point, but it's just like
that's what I mean. Like he sold the idea to Facebook. He sold it to Facebook. He personally did that? No.
He brought it to Oculus, and then Oculus was sold to Facebook.
Who sold Oculus to Facebook?
Oculus. Facebook went and bought them.
Okay. So why are they mad at him?
Because he worked at ZeniMax and took the code. The quote unquote the code. Okay, so this is still further their statement. The proprietary technology and know-how Mr. Carmack developed when he was a ZeniMax employee and used by Oculus are owned by ZeniMax. That's their statement.
Cool.
It's the know-how that Mr. Carmack developed. So what Mr. Carmack knows
is owned by
ZeniMax. I don't understand that at all.
As he worked at ZeniMax, that was developed, and now he took that development somewhere else before they could make money using their development, or
I guess he developed it while he was there.
They want some money,
but he still left behind. He still left behind what he did there. He still just took the idea. He still just took the idea of virtual reality.
Is it almost
to
like
Oculus.
how Windows was made? Like it kind of.
I guess it's borderline there. Yeah, you move into another realm, right?
It's like a computer, Mac, PC.
Who gets what? Anybody gets?
I guess we still get VR. I mean, as consumers, hey, we still get it all, right?
They want some. They
want some money. They want, and I think that's where like they're resting their laurels on is they want viability. They want because you were successful in marketing it and making it something that everybody wanted, and you sold therefore that to Facebook for $2 billion. We need to get something because you were here when you had I don't know, like yeah, he had an idea. Yeah, the idea belongs to ZeniMax, but that idea in itself is virtual reality, which he could have changed in any which way, shape, or form. Like, he didn't need to say, you went 360, you went 350 degrees. I don't know. Like, he could have changed anything in it.
Right.
To still make it Oculus's and not be ZeniMax's. So why would they still sue him? I don't know. He says on Twitter, so this is now coming from John Carmack. He denies taking tech from ZeniMax to Oculus, and he stated, quote, on Twitter, Oculus uses 0 lines of code that I wrote while under contract to ZeniMax. He later stated, no work I've ever done has been patented. Patented.
You said it right.
Patent. Yeah, something like that.
It's patent. Patented.
Patented.
It's patented.
He got ED on it.
He's supposed to just be patented.
It's patented.
It should just be patented.
Okay. He says ZeniMax owns the code that I wrote, but they do not own VR. And I think that's the real thing. They don't own VR. So, like, he just took and did VR somewhere else.
Right.
So what? I say it's a non-issue. ZeniMax should drop it.
They're saying that
you want to say something.
He acquired knowledge to allow him to go and do that somewhere else.
Well, even I guess he could have stayed there.
I
guess he still could have
stayed
there and
work
did it.
at ZeniMax still?
No, he doesn't.
Did he sign a contract saying he can't use what he acquires or learned in the next 6 months or so in doing anything else?
Yes.
Is it after that time frame?
Well, it's not even like after 6 months things. It's just like you can't use what you did there.
Ever.
This
is our knowledge. We own the membranes and.
But what he's doing later is virtual reality. Like,
right.
That's like saying that's saying whoever leaves, Respawn. Okay, if you leave Respawn after you made Titanfall, you can't go to another company and make a first-person shooter.
Or you can't go make any more games, period.
Now, I understand if it says you can't go make a first-person shooter based on technology that you know that we redid the Unreal Engine to do our shooter in. Or Counter-Strike. They remember, so we said last week, we had found out Titanfall uses the a revised source engine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you know that as a developer, you can't go to another studio and develop, on the source engine what you know at Respawn. But what you know at Respawn, right? Specifically what you learned at Respawn and making Titanfall, you can't go make a first-person shooter like that, right? But that doesn't say that you can't go make a first-person shooter, say on Frostbite or say on Unreal Engine. So you're making a first-person shooter. No one's going to come back and sue you. Oh, you made a first-person shooter viable because it's now selling better than Titanfall sold. So you stole it from us. He's making virtual reality. How can you
stop that?
How can you stop that?
Yeah.
Let the dude make what he wants. I don't get what the hoopla is about. It's still just big hoopla to me.
Did the tweet pop up?
So yeah, did a tweet pop up? Did we get a tweet? Let's check the Twitter. So it's actually me over here on Twitter.
Yeah, I used your Twitter.
Why do you use my Twitter?
Because I didn't feel like logging you out.
Get out of my Twitter.
I'm not twiddling with your Twitter.
Get out of my Twitter. All right, so we got some other news though. There is a big story that has been everywhere in the headlines, and I don't know. Should we touch on it?
After you read the tweet.
We have to read the tweet first, right? Exactly what was going on. So the first thing, let me find this here.
No, first you have to read the tweet that you tweeted, that I tweeted of you.
The tweet that I tweeted, that you tweeted of me.
Yes.
That's a lot of tweets. All right, let's find the tweets here. Oh, we got one here. Oh, that actually changed. So let's see.
Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you.
That P90 actually just tweeted of me doing something, saying something.
Well,
what were you saying?
Basically, watch live at twitch.tv/1Life2Play.
Oh, we still are on that.
And you can call in live at 505. Oh, 1-877-505-LIFE.
And yeah, remember we won't say the O because people get confused anyway. 505, whatever. So there's a number right there at the bottom. You can call the show 877-505-LIFE. All right. So our news story that we actually need to get to. This is something that's been circling around, and I'll just say the NBA right there because now you got to know what we're talking about. If you haven't, then you just been living under a rock or something like that, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, so this is a quote that kicked off out of what was the studio? It was Turtle Rock Game Studio. They had a community manager there by the name of Josh Olin. It looks like. So Josh Olin decided to tweet a tweet here regarding Donald Sterling and his remarks as owner, or maybe we could say even at this point former owner of the Clippers. He states, "Here's an unpopular opinion." Quote, or colon, "Donald Sterling has the right as an American to be an old bigot in the security of his own home. He's a victim." That was tweeted out by, again, the community manager of Turtle Rock Game Development Studio. And as it turns out, he was later fired for those remarks on Twitter. Now, the idea of him being fired for those remarks kind of stemmed from the fact that he considered Donald Sterling to be a victim.
Correct.
And based on what Turtle Rock representative states, the comments made by our former community manager stand in stark contrast with our values as a game developers or the game development studio. They continue on to say, "We sincerely apologize for his remarks and in no way endorse or support those views." Now, yes, I get that. You may not support the views, but they are his views. I'm not sure exactly, whether or not his Twitter account, was to be sanctioned by, Turtle Rock as an employer, or what he said on that account had anything to do with his employment with Turtle Rock or expressed those views. I have no idea what that, relationship was. But the fact of the matter is they were kind of his views, right?
I mean, it was his opinion inside his own home.
That was in his home too, right?
Yeah, like
I gotta open my beer here.
The Twitter guy could have. Did he tweet that? Did he tweet that at work?
I don't know exactly while he was at work. Okay, so if we take a look at it, so it was tweeted at 2 p.m.
So no, he was at work
yesterday.
Maybe he was on lunch break.
Maybe on lunch, and we don't know if this may be showing Eastern time.
He probably just heard about it too.
It may be Eastern time, so it actually may be around 11:10 Pacific time. When I see it, I don't know.
I want to say there's definitely a situation where there's a possibility where the man could have been at work.
Could have been.
Maybe ducking out for lunch, early meeting
on his way down the stairs, standing in the elevator.
So
okay,
in the vicinity and still being representative of that company or whatnot. Yeah, I kind of see where you don't want to get
it's a fine
the backlash
line, right?
of everything. That's the problem. You don't want to get the backlash of all that hoopla. Like you said, I need that on the soundboard.
Yeah, the hoopla.
Just you saying hoopla.
Well, I mean, the thing is, it's a pretty fine line when you think about okay, I work for this person, but at the same time, I want to express myself, and that's what we do on Twitter. We do that on Facebook.
Because that's what Twitter's for.
Right? How do you work? How do you really work past something like?
What I don't think it's right is when, as your employers are, I guess, in a way, to judge you off of your Facebook and your Twitter status. That's a way where you could be like, boss, I'm not coming in. I feel real sick. And then my boss goes into my Twitter feed last night and seen that I was at a club at 2:30 in the morning getting drunk. I wasn't sick. I'm hungover. I can see that.
That works too.
Whatever.
But I can guarantee you, this Josh Olin, for Turtle Rock, he's not getting fired for that.
No, and when you're going into a personal thought that he has, I mean, this is America.
Yeah,
we are allowed to have personal thoughts over here.
He had a pretty good response.
I do agree with the fact that he's not breaking the law though. That's what I'm saying. It's like he didn't. You can say you're in America. You can say pretty much whatever you want. You can believe. That's what freedom of belief, freedom of religion, freedom to do what you want. You're gonna pay the consequences
as long as you're not harming anyone else, right?
You're gonna pay the consequences if you do something that breaks the law or harms other, like you were saying. But we have freedom of speech.
So I guess at the same time, I mean, I do have to remember. I as I was reviewing the story, it seems that the NBA does have their own private constitution and these bylaws that they're following.
I've got balls of steel.
Businesses in general, corporations in general.
Like, I guess
is he breaking the law? Maybe they have a certain stipulations where they have a code of conduct as a police officer or anybody that's in a public, atmosphere constantly. They have a code of conduct where they have to uphold. So
and if you're not doing
it, a guy, especially at a studio like that where you're constantly in the public tweeting and putting presses and stuff out like that, you might want to keep your tweets to the round table,
Yeah, I get it.
Call us up.
He had a pretty nice.
Know what you feel.
He had a pretty nice response to it. We could check out some of his responses here. This is here it is here. This is where he actually confirms, that all this took place. It seems a fan of Turtle Rock kind of tweeted out to him, after reading about what happened to JD 2020, JD_2020, that's his Twitter handle. I have no faith in Turtle Rock. No purchase from me. Poorly handled. Josh Olin then retweeted and responded, I still recommend buying the game. We're talking about the game Evolve here that was currently coming out of Turtle Rock. He says it'll be a good one, but yes, very poorly handled by Malibu management. I mean, from that's exactly what I'm kind of get the feeling is. It's like, that's the NBA. Like, that's his thoughts on the whole story itself. This is the NBA. You're not the NBA. You're making video games.
Correct. You're just making.
Kind of stay out of that, man. Just stay out of that. Like, I don't really know if it was a great move on the management of Turtle Rock to do something like that. I wouldn't say that it really warrants boycotting a video game.
It's just abuse of power. It's abuse of position to me. That's all it is. Like, he didn't have to say any of that. But if it's in the privacy of his own home, he can say whatever he wants.
Not
See what I'm saying?
Finish him.
She recorded him.
Not if they're gonna ax him.
But why she record him? Like, why she record him too?
She is mixed herself.
That's craziness. Like, her recording them. And then how that still get out? Like,
how do you hang out with somebody that's like that, and they're like that?
Because it's
so what does that explain about you?
Yeah, it's so the money. She's now we're talking about this Donald Sterling. It's strictly.
I gotta say, I'm still, I still make light and fun of everything. Isn't this not ironic that the commissioner of NBA, Adam Silver, you put them together, it's Sterling Silver.
Sterling Silver.
Like, could you not ask for anything better in a news story? Like, Sterling Silver. Every time I see it in the headline, it just looks amazing. It's awesome. But okay, so we're going back to it. But it's on the NBA to take action, right?
Exactly.
Only the NBA.
Right.
It's not everybody else that needs to take action on this. Just because now we because of Donald Sterling, is everybody being looked at by everything that they say. All I can say is, I can literally say on Twitter or I can say on Facebook, "Oh, I hate dogs. I'd rather have a cat."
And now you're going.
And now animal protector leaf is all over me. Like, oh, he hates dogs. Like,
that's exactly what it boils down to is this: us as Americans in the United States of America, the only thing we have left is our freedom of speech. And yes, there's racist people on every level. There's racist people on the bottom, on the working level, and the higher ups. We know that. All right, so the guy wasn't at his game on the mic saying "F you pants sagging wearing." He wasn't doing that. He was in the privacy of his own home. Who cares what the hell he was doing? As long as he don't bring it out to the public and try to make it a spectacle about things. Because there's a lot of other guys. Ted Nugent is my dude, but if you ever heard him speak, he tells you what the hell he feels. Whichever topic it is, he'll lay it down on the line. he's not like that, you know.
I still say like overall the only person I mean I'm black. I get it. I know I'm black, and me saying this, people might hate me for it, but I still say the only person that should have been angry about the entire thing was Magic Johnson.
Magic, hey.
It was Magic Johnson. If anybody should be angry, it's Magic Johnson. He said, "Why do you bring him to my game?" Like maybe it was all encompassing. I don't care. I don't get it. But you name the dude. If the tape got out,
is that
he
Magic
should be mad.
Johnson is bad luck to the Clippers. He should be at the Lakers game.
No.
Lakers should have made the playoffs. That's the point. That's the bottom line. Lakers should have made the playoffs.
Magic got money. I didn't think that when they were gonna go back to his punishment or whatever they were gonna his consequences, whatever. I didn't think that they were gonna force him basically out. They're trying to make him sell, and we all know that. Well, I don't know if everybody knows, but he's one of the longest standing owners in the NBA franchise league.
So he made the most money.
Right.
He's one of the, if not the longest owners, and now they're trying to push him out. They're almost trying to make him.
No,
sell that
he
franchise.
is the longest owner. He is
Okay,
the
so
longest
he's the number
tenured
one.
owner right now.
What if Magic is trying to buy the Clippers?
But he's a LA.
But that's a real roundabout way to go about buying an
Right.
NBA team. Like
I mean, but there
Oh,
is
that was
ways.
his undercover agent. Her, huh? Go in there.
It could be.
Joe-
Magic A. The
I don't
guy
know,
beat
like-
AIDS, man. The guy could do a.
if you could be age, you could do a lot of things. But
That's
I mean,
right.
I don't know. For what I really think is that it is nobody else should have been mad except Magic Johnson. But that's all
Right.
sports news. I'm just shocked to believe that somehow that's still wrapped around into video games. I was sitting there wondering, like on Monday, I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. I'm just sitting there
How
like,
is this associated with video games?
right, I was playing
Oh,
2K14.
he was a game developer.
No, I'm playing 2K14, and literally, while I'm playing, you know, like when that NBA Today comes on, so it's showing like the highlights from the game. They mentioned Donald Sterling and how the Clippers and all that, you know, did lose that game on Sunday night or whatever. And I'm just thinking while I'm sitting there at the menu, like, there's got to be a way this is gonna wrap to video games. Like either in 2K14, they're gonna do something in life. Like there's gonna be a way for this to wrap to video games. Who knew it happened with the game Evolve? I guess it's good press for the game coming out, but you know, Turtle Rock, community manager, everybody they get wrapped around into NBA talk. So what else we got in news? You guys want to wrap some news up?
Let's do some news.
P90, what you got in news? We got time for one more story. We got time for one more story.
All right, so I get the pick here, hey? Sony sells 7 million PS4s.
7 million.
They hit 7 million.
That's
Wow.
a lot.
Wow.
How'd they do it?
Which would bring you to the next question.
How they do it? No, that's the really next question.
Mm-hmm.
How much did Microsoft sell?
3.9.
3.9. So this figure we're seeing here, this is not really a 50-50 between PlayStation. This is more like PlayStation take it over for all of us, right?
I have a PlayStation 4 before an Xbox One. So
I think everybody, if you're gonna have both of them, everybody has a PS4 before Xbox One. So I
Right.
don't know if that's a valid argument there.
no?
I don't know. Like it's still, I think the argument can only be answered by those who have both of them. But even myself having both of them, I still can't answer it. I honestly can't. I can't answer it. Which one I like better? Like
I mean, it comes down to interaction. Like I thought that on two different consoles like that, I thought that it was gonna come down to to actually gaming interaction. But what Microsoft brings, PlayStation lacks, if I can say, because PlayStation 4 it doesn't really lack. But what PlayStation brings, Microsoft kind of meets up. So it's a good thing. I think that those two are in cahoots because it's a good thing to have both in your house.
I kind of find out I play a lot of kiddie games on my Xbox One. I really learned that. Like
They're fun.
I mean, they're still fun. They're fun. Like, but yeah,
that's what a game is. It's supposed to be something simple and fun.
Like Titanfall is really the only hardcore I got on Xbox One.
Well, speaking of Titanfall, Titanfall also released on Xbox 360.
Yeah, so that pairs with it.
So what they were saying is Titanfall on 360 is running at 1080p, but at 30 frames a second. And then on the one, it's running at 60 frames a second, but at 720p.
It's actually 900p.
Well,
still pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
You got vertical
and
sync.
And they're saying like you can do everything that you can do in Titanfall on Xbox One on Xbox 360.
Yeah, I saw it on 360. I kind of don't agree with that. I think like the draw distance, the rendering is a little off. There's a lot of clipping. Yeah, there's a lot of clipping. Texture popping is a huge problem on the 360. Like,
you see it populating.
Yeah. When I go through the levels, like that's one of the things. Like if you guys check out the review on YouTube for Titanfall, like one of the things I mentioned is like when you go across the levels, they look beautiful. And like when you're on the Xbox One, it's like the levels really come to life and you don't see an end to them. But when you play on a 360, you kind of do feel that end right there in front of you because of it's really the texture popping. But other than that, I don't know. I get that I don't think they really should have released the game on 360. I think it should have been like solely Xbox One.
I mean, I don't know, because me not having an Xbox One yet and seeing it on the 360, if I have the money now and I feel like playing it, I will go pick it up.
See, I was just about to ask you exactly that.
Yeah.
Would you buy Titanfall on 360?
Yes, knowing that I would get the Xbox One and get Titanfall on the Xbox One, I would still want it.
You would still buy it twice?
I love my 360,
See,
man.
I don't know. Like, I don't love my 360 that much. I don't like that.
Dude, I love my 360. That thing's still ticking.
Like, there's one thing I need to try on 360. Yes. I actually just got Halo, the original Halo Anniversary Edition.
Okay.
Oh.
They put the multiplayer to it.
Cool.
So I am going to be trying that this weekend. I'm excited about that.
How long is it going to take you to beat it?
I don't know. Why?
Just give us a prediction. Give us a prediction.
I don't know. I'm thinking probably like a month. I'm thinking like a month.
Speaking of buying games twice, Nintendo released Super Mario Brothers 3, right? Is that's coming up?
Yeah.
And if I have a Nintendo 3DS, I have a Nintendo Wii U, I have a Nintendo Wii at home. We have actually a couple.
So you have the Wii and the Wii U.
Yes.
Right? I have a Wii and a DS or a 3DS.
We have two 3DSs, two Nintendo DS XLs, and a Nintendo Wii and a Wii U.
So you're more Nintendo than anything.
Well, the kids play Pokemon, all kinds of stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's Zelda, a lot of Zelda, Metroid, things like that still going around. Mario Brothers still going around. But if I buy a game on one of the systems, you would think that it would have a deal or be free on your rest of your systems through your Nintendo Network ID.
And you would think that because you're gullible and what?
Of course, I would.
No,
because
you're a gamer. You know that's not gonna happen.
No, it's not. I wish it would. I own I own The Last of Us on PS3. I want it on PS4 just because it's remastered. Like it would be on Tomb Raider level.
That would be so nice to have.
Like Tomb Raider is prime examples of how they're bringing over a game and it's really gonna be that.
Why would they do that if you can just if they can just sell the game again to you?
You know, they're doing that. Like how Xbox is doing it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Xbox 360 is really
Xbox has a great deal.
The Titan is on 360 now. So Titan.
Did you know, like, if you have a Windows phone and say a Windows tablet or a Windows computer,
okay,
you can actually just have Windows 8 on it. You can actually purchase Halo Spartan Assault on your phone and also on your computer or tablet too.
It links it.
And then if you purchase Halo Spartan Assault on your 360, you also get it on your Xbox One.
No, that's what I'm talking
about. That's a great cross buy. That's really like I know, like, you know, PlayStation has a lot of cross buy that makes sense too, but yeah, Nintendo having cross buy. Nintendo needs too much money right now. They need too much money, too many sales, too many units of each of the different. Just like you said, the Wii, the Wii U, the 3DS, and the DS. They got too many moving parts. Need too many moving units to say, buy it one time, we'll give you all 4 of them. And there's no way that's happening, especially if you're talking about that you're not buying this retail either. This is on their eShop, right?
You know what I would do if I was Nintendo and wanted to advertise doing that?
What do you want? What will you get?
All the Nintendo original games would just be free in 8-bit across every system.
No way. See, you would go bank. You would be a decline of gaming.
8-bit games.
You get
But
Not
why?
the 6, just because.
8 bits.
good.
But wait,
It's the first
You said
system.
you've got. I say no. You got Nintendo right now. We releasing those for $3, $4,
Really?
$5.
The Nintendo
Why not
one?
go make some money?
Not the original Nintendo one.
Yeah, they are on the
16
eShop. On
Super
their eShop.
Nintendo stuff, not Nintendo.
They got some original Nintendo stuff. There's some original Nintendo stuff out there. There's some original Game Boy stuff out there. Yeah, you
sure
can get the
there's some
eShop,
stuff
the Virtual
overseas,
Console.
yes.
Yeah, on the Virtual Console, you can get all that original stuff.
So you're saying they could still just keep making that much more money?
Yeah, I can go on my DS right now and get like Mega
Get
Man
it for
3.
50
I
cents.
can get Mega Man 3 for like $250 right now on my 3DS on the Virtual Console. Like
okay.
that kind of stuff makes sense on a developer
Okay,
side
but
and
at
on the
least
manufacturer
one-
side. Make that.
At least one of those, one of those has to be free. Somebody.
I mean, every now and then they probably come out with something free or something really like
It
super
should be- it
discounted.
should be
We get it for like a
that
quarter
outdate
maybe or
date.
something.
Like
But
you were saying, like the technology outdate date, like that's no longer relevant technology. Everything before that date is free, and they just keep moving forward like that.
no, wait,
Yeah,
no.
man, that's like going
What
to
kind
the
of company are
library.
you running?
Because I could go to the library and just get it.
See, now that I need to see stuff like that. That's what I can see. Like, so to keep making it, continuously make it free, like what happens is so if you think on a grander scale of things, this is just the way I think. If I continue to make things free, that means more people are distributing my content that I have no control over. That's why things can't be just made free. You bring up the library, like if I made things free and freely accessed, then yeah, I'm a library, which we have millions of libraries worldwide that just give this content out for free, which I then have no control and get no residual value from.
It's digital, and it
As a company, I need something of that. Like there's just no way that forget the money side of it. I want the control of
How
it.
long before now those items just weren't making anything anymore because they're outdated?
Okay, so exactly because of this point. This is the point. Like right now, Kirby comes out tomorrow.
There we go.
Right?
Okay.
New Kirby comes out tomorrow. Do you think that the marketing guys over at Nintendo could have gotten the budget that they needed to actually make this Kirby game what it's going to be? Because I'm super excited about Kirby. I'm seeing all the commercials on Nickelodeon. I want Kirby, right?
He wants Kirby.
They couldn't do
Sweet,
that.
though.
They couldn't do that unless they knew exactly what the power of Kirby was. So remember about 6 or 7 months ago, Kirby re-released on the Virtual Console, and I said, this is it. This is we're gonna get an actual Kirby game. Forget this epic yarn bullshit that they were trying to give us. We're gonna get a real true to life retro Kirby game, flying through levels, 2D side scrolling, blowing up, doing what Kirby does, right? And here it is. We get a Kirby game. Why were they able to do that? Because they were able to go back with some actual physical numbers and say, this is how many people loved Kirby. If Kirby was free, they would never be able to count it because everybody was
could.
everybody would get
just like
Kirby.
stuff on
You'd
the
be able
Play
to track
Store is
that.
free.
You can't track
Yes,
it.
you can
You'd be
because
able to
it'll be
track
like
all that.
you have 600 million. You have 600 billion downloads of this game.
No, but so if Kirby was free, I gotta
See what I mean?
look.
How does the Play Store work?
How?
Through
You know what?
advertisement,
You know
right?
exactly. Here's exactly
It's
it. You say you
advertisement.
got 6 billion downloads, but if it was free, meaning that there was no actual digital rights to it, that means that because our 3DSs uses the SD card, I can just go ahead and download Kirby myself and then give it to you, and you could put it on 3 other 3DSs. How do they know that now 4 people are playing Kirby when only 1 person downloaded it? If you can't track it, you can't go and build new games. You need that's what the gaming industry
the game
needs.
should
They
only
need
cost
better
20
tracking.
You said $2.50. It should be like 25 cents. These old games, these
They-
old Nintendo.
Even if you
8-bit
want to say,
games
if
and
you
whatever.
if you want to give it out for nil to next to nothing, go ahead and do that. But you've got to at least put it out in some sense that you got to give me something for this. There's a give and take there, and that's us as gamers. We have to realize that there's just give and take.
No, we want
can't
free
go
games.
we can't go make new games if we keep giving you everything else for free.
Yeah, well,
You know that's
they're doing it on Android pretty well.
no, they're not doing pretty well.
Why not? Yes, they do.
The only good games that come out on Android have huge huge development studios behind them. Anything else that comes out on Android is riddled up with ads that make no sense of why they're there, get in the way of touch input, get in the way of the experience. But then you have games like you're playing Simpsons Tapped Out, like you're playing Plants vs. Zombies, who's making it? EA. It's EA.
See,
I can't even say any other game that's good that EA isn't making.
So what?
EA
So long as
Sports.
okay, there's
It's in the
free
game.
games though.
Name me a good
Nintendo
free
has
game
some
that
free
EA
games.
doesn't make or publish. Name me a good mobile free game that EA doesn't publish or make themselves. You really cannot think of one.
I'm sorry, what was that question again?
free game that EA doesn't make or publish. Like I think that's the question. What is a free game that EA doesn't make or publish that's actually that can be considered close to a AAA title? We can call it a AA title. I don't care, but like what kind of game is that? I don't see one that's out there that I'm scrambling over to get. Okay, so we got Awesome Knots, I guess. I had to pay for Awesome Knots, come to think of it. I had to pay for Awesome Knots. There's nothing that's free that...
Uncharted 3. Oh, yeah.
Uncharted 3 is only free because of PlayStation Plus, which I'm paying for.
So there's nothing never really free. Can you at least make us think we're getting stuff for free so we can feel good?
Nobody else can get stuff for free like EA can give stuff for free and make quality games out of giving free stuff. You even got like down to Star Wars Old Republic. Even Blizzard can't make a free-to-play good game good. Even down to Diablo 3, there's no subscription to play Diablo, but hey, you still gotta buy it. It's harder to swarm, you still gotta buy it. I guess the multiplayer is still good, but it's not a mobile game. I can't play it everywhere. I gotta have specific requirements to play that.
Well, when is it gonna finally be the game that just, if you own this game, you're playing the game with anybody who has that game on any console? Where is it? When is that game?
I guess Sony is close with PlanetSide.
Guess who?
Sony's pretty close with PlanetSide too.
Cool.
I give them that. I am looking forward to it on PS4. It sucks that we gotta wait so long. I mean, I hear end of 2014, maybe beginning of 2015.
See,
I don't know.
the sweet thing about PlanetSide 2 is it gives you a Call of Duty, Halo, Battlefield 4 experience in one game.
I like that.
It's kind of like just, man. He even could have some Titanfall. I bet you they could easily make a patch and say, call the Titan mech down.
Titan mech down.
I mean, this would have
That's
been
what
called Titan.
you need to write that down.
I like that.
We should really write that.
Like
Call
that.
of Titan mech down. All right, before we get out of here, we're gonna take a look at a couple of trailers that we found this past week, right? Now, so this is one that it's a game that could kind of be borderline of what we're talking about. Something that a lot of people could play over multiple consoles. It could be that way, but unfortunately it's coming out for both PS4 and Xbox One. On top of PS3, 360, it is undoubtedly going to be restricted to play across all 4 platforms, but maybe at least we can play across the 2 solely. I don't know what happens. But let's take a look at, I think we got some actual gameplay that they just released this past week. It seems pretty interesting. They call this The Devil's Lair. So this is Destiny's Strike gameplay trailer of The Devil's Lair. Kind of sounds good, right?
Yeah, I want to see this.
I want to check it out. All right, let me unmute the sound here. Give you guys some volume. Get over to my switcher. Check it out.
I'll be back.
The fallen will continue to claw at the walls of our city unless we strike them down. Beneath the ruins of a cosmodrome, in the shadow of an old colony ship, we've located the House of Devil's Lair and the High Servitor, feeding them their strength. We must destroy this machine god and send their souls screaming back to hell.
Okay. So I was saying like, oh boy, here's another first-person shooting game. And then what did you say? Why did you say that? And then you know, it kind of dawned on me that the only way you're gonna really ever play Oculus Rift or virtual reality is going to be in first person anyway, because that's the whole point of. That's the goal of a first person shooter game, is for you to be in the game. So we're gonna have the glasses on and more or less we look down and see our hands and our feet. Maybe the controller will turn into the gun, or maybe something will turn into something else. So now at least.
See, I think that makes a real difference.
And it could be like the Killzone remote where you can still move around, and I'm aiming and shooting and stuff with the Oculus Rift glasses or virtual realities or whatever you want to call it, what Operation Project Reality, like Nintendo's was. And I remember putting on virtual reality glasses in Cedar Point.
Right.
All right, and then I'm still looking at the video while we're speaking, and you see how he like looked up in the sky, and there was like buildings and whatnot, and that reminded me of Planetside too. Like I look up into the solar system, I'm seeing at nighttime. I see stars and planets, and like it's really cool on the detail aspect of this game as well. There's a lot of it looks really good.
Right. So like I think that like games like You got the games like Kinect Sports and things like that. Like when you talk about virtual reality, like even down to what a Kinect does, you're still seeing yourself. Like it puts yourself on the screen. It doesn't necessarily put you into that first person view. And because of that, I still kind of wonder exactly how far can virtual reality succeed. You know, like
well, definitely can succeed. They're already capturing the motion.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
how to do this now.
It can succeed in terms of first-person games, but is that the game that really everyone wants to play? Like when you talk about when you get, and again, it's really hard to distinguish the separation between this type of gamer. But you have the hardcore versus the casual gamer, and when you talk about the casual gamer, can the casual gamer get into that first-person view that virtual reality, like you said, will inherently have, will be forced to have?
Gamers. I think it's going to be an extreme gamers.
So how does virtual reality really take off if it's for this extreme gamer? Like, there's not many of us out there who extreme game. And if you're talking about extreme gaming when it comes to a shooter, you're talking about playing for about, 5 or 6 hours at a time in a sitting. Are you really playing virtual reality for 5 or 6 hours?
You're gonna get tired, probably.
An extreme gamer would probably go for like 8.
Yeah, probably extreme would go way longer than I would. You know, I'm going like 5, and I'm calling myself extreme. So, like even with that, would virtual reality sustain itself? For the extreme gamer, and it definitely would it then capture the attention of the casual gamer. It's a really small niche.
I think it's gonna be a nice, soft, sweet spot in between 3D gaming and virtual reality.
Yeah.
I think somehow they're gonna come to a point where they're gonna design the glasses. Now, a lot of virtual realities programs I've seen, the glasses have to be powered. They already have powered glasses on certain 3D TVs and stuff and such, right? The different 3D technologies, passive and active. It's gonna be some kind of sweet spot in between there. I just know it is. It's gonna be like
gotta be.
The glasses design is gonna probably just be no lighter than some of these here, and kind of just maybe even just be powered glass.
And just like a hollow overlay,
There's really no frame, overlay. But it's just gonna be hollow like glass. You just have glass over your eyes.
Right there.
And they're powered
HUD.
glass.
Nice little HUD.
So now you got a nice 3D TV at the same time. This is going to give you a good effect once these things is designed. And I told you that in order for them to keep advancing, and you were saying, why is it 4K? Why is it 4K? Because they need more information to present to you in front of your eye on the screen.
Yeah, but that's a lot. There's no way virtual reality is going to be running no 4K. That's way too much in front of me.
It's going to be running at higher than 4K.
That's too much in front of me. That's too much in front of me.
The resolution is going to be higher than 4K.
Too much going on.
And you're probably going to need I don't know, man. If they have a 3D projector, that'd probably be the best.
Oh, tap the screen. Tap the screen, LEM. LEM is over in some...
Can you imagine...
Oh, no, you got to tap the PlayStation screen because you got the scoreboard up right now.
Can you imagine playing like a virtual reality 3D game on like size of a movie theater screen? Or
a 3D game? I don't know. Maybe I could play some Awesome Knots. LEM finally jumped into some Awesome Knots here. I think he's got. Do we have Awesome Knots up?
But Destiny looked pretty cool. I mean, nonetheless, they always look really well. Now, if it plays well,
yeah.
Can I control them? Well, it'd be a different story. But they always have the standard controls. You can switch it southpaw and whatnot. And good old James Bond days.
I guess there's still no official date, but at least we saw a little bit of gameplay from Destiny. It does look good. I don't know if I'm ready for just another shooter. They've got to show me just a little bit more of what they're showing. But I kind of, like, when I see Destiny, I'm reminded of, remember last year, Defiance, the game? I kind of remember that one, so that kind of worked out. Oh man, LEM just died, so now P90's now getting controller, so he's going to show him something, I guess. Show him some moves. You can see P90 here. Now has the PS Vita playing through some remote play, so now you can check out. Yeah, playing on remote play on Awesome Knots is a really fun experience. I really like it.
It didn't even feel like it was a remote play.
I actually like it a lot. And like all the buttons map perfectly. It's just a fun. It's just a fun play to play.
It makes it that much.
I actually, if I was sitting on the couch, I would literally play Awesome Knots with the Vita instead of sitting there playing with the controller. Yeah,
the actual console.
I would sit there on the couch in front of the TV and play just on the Vita.
I mean, I guess it is comfortable, and the Vita's something that I liked about the Vita versus the PSP was always awesome, but that Vita they almost put like a 4K technology into that.
Yeah, into that Vita.
So
oh
good.
My gosh,
and it don't matter how far, how close, the picture looks so awesome on that Vita.
So now there's the new Vitas. Now I don't know if they hit North America just yet, but I know they're in Japan. The new Vitas actually use an LCD type screen to display them. But the original Vita that came out used the OLED screen, and that's the one that I have that's still in North America right now, to my knowledge. Is the OLED screen, and that's the one that to me shows the way better picture. Yes. You tap the screen, so like basically tapping the screen gives you the middle button on a PlayStation. What'd you just hit? You probably hit select. What'd you hit?
Like every button I could possibly hit to get
Why'd you just hit?
Mash buttons.
You just mash buttons. No, we can't get that away.
PlayStation Remote. PlayStation Remote, LEM.
Yeah, where's the PlayStation Remote? Hit the middle.
Hit that button out there.
Hit the middle button. No, not the PlayStation button. The middle, the touchpad. Push it in. Push it all the way in. Like it was a button. Nothing? Oh, I can't get out of there. What mode did you put in?
No, that remote turned off.
Oh, let me see that remote. Yeah, let me see that remote. Alright, I gotta move over to me.
Game over.
And connection to PS4 has been lost.
While you guys are trying to figure the PlayStation remotes and all your who's the what big jiggers, how would you feel if when you grow up you knew nothing, and I mean nothing, about this big machine with these handles on it? You could put quarters in and you could sit there for hours and play these side-scrolling 2D adventure.
No Pac-Man.
Just how would you feel growing up and not even knowing that part existed in the world?
What?
So this, I just see this, a small town in Massachusetts. They lift a 32-year ban on arcade console games. 32-year ban.
32 years.
Actual
they wouldn't have arcade. They wouldn't have games.
Arcade. Yes, a specific resident there was complaining and saying that in the restaurants and places of business, they didn't want that loud noise making machine that was drawing away from the actual family fun. Also stated to quote, and thank you. Also quoted and said that those games are everywhere and they aren't fun. Lady.
They aren't fun.
Lady.
Oh boy. Can you?
Here's a challenge.
Can you play?
Go to any arcade machine.
Right.
Insert a quarter or 2, possibly 4. Play that. And tell me that you didn't have fun. Like that. And I go back to my childhood. The first game that I played was on an arcade machine.
Yeah.
The first.
I think
it was something like.
For me too.
A Galaga, or it was a Centipede.
I think it was Galaga.
It was something real old.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's what it was. And there was later.
Mine was Galaga.
Yeah.
Mine was Galaga.
A Centipede with the rolling ball in the middle.
Yeah. Mine was Galaga, and I played it at the community center.
Yeah.
Where I lived. Yeah. It was Galaga. That was the first game, and then later, I think one of the other games I played was actually Atari. So that was at home. But the idea is still it had the joystick. It had the joystick. So I was.
Yeah.
It was arcade
my
game.
first home system was an Atari 2600.
Yeah, it was 2600. Yeah.
And I had the 83 first.
No, I had the 2600.
Yeah, it was the 26.
Played Pitfall.
Or the 22. I might
Played
have the
Pitfall.
22,
Pitfall.
the
A lot of
26.
people play Pitfall.
Yeah.
22, 26, and 83.
Oh,
And
wait,
then
am
the
I
Sega
wrong?
came.
I actually might have played Pitfall on the Commodore.
Oh.
The Commodore 64. I might have played Pitfall on
And
that
it's funny
one.
how they said Commodore 64. That's when they were working with 64 kilobytes.
Yeah, yeah. 6 kilobytes. Ha, ha, ha. Yeah, we would laugh at early.
I don't know
early
what
days
that language.
games.
I don't know what that language that lady's talking about, or what language that article. 32 years, no video games.
Yeah, it's 30. It's a little town. It's a little town. So you fear a tight knit community. They might not want that type of disturbance. You
The
know,
heck kind of what? That's a. That,
Hey,
Whatever the Constitution
what kind of
said.
yakety
Whatever
yak
it
is
said.
that?
Whatever it said.
if it's a disturbance for them, then so be it. You know, the rest of the world, and when I mean not only the United States of America, I mean the rest of the world has seen an arcade console.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine like walking in with your kids to a pizzeria and they're like, "Dad,
What is
that?"
What
The people-
yakety?
you have to look over and see a guy like
No, but they would have thought today. They would have thought it was touch tunes, right? They would have thought it was something. They
would have walked up to that ancient like it's touch tunes. Even the touch tunes is all flat.
Yeah, I guess
screen
so,
touch.
right?
Like,
Yeah.
They would have walked in and said, "Dad, wouldn't it have been funny? Like, Dad, what is 25 cents?
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Dad, what's a token?
A token?
What's a toucan? Oh man, that's too much.
Basically, is I think around the world, an arcade console has never brought violence.
No.
Neo Geo's almost bred me to be the man I am now.
I know how to
You know,
drive.
like if it wasn't for those type of
I know
consoles.
how to drive
thanks
a
to-
manual transmission car because of
Ridge
video
Racer.
games.
Because of Ridge Racer.
Yes, because of Ridge Racer.
Not pass a driving test because of Ridge Racer.
Oh,
No,
man.
yes, I know how to drive a manual transmission.
That's why I have my license today.
That is
because
a
of
Grand
Saturday.
Theft
Ridge
Auto.
Racer.
Sorry. No, Grand Theft
it
Auto
was
2.
really Ridge
That's
Racer.
why I have my
though.
license.
Ridge Racer was like,
Yeah.
Was it
not-
Ridge
not
Racer?
Daytona USA, because that was
I did like that
Ridge
one.
Racer. No, Daytona.
Yeah,
you're
Ridge-
Daytona USA.
No, I
Ridge
played.
Racer
I had
was-
Ridge
Running
Racer
around
on
in
Sega
circles
Saturn.
and circles. Yes, Ridge
Sega
Racer.
Saturn. Or was it
had
Sega CD? Sega CD.
tracks.
Sega CD. Yeah.
It had a track.
So yeah, I just wanted to bring that story up because just imagine
That was a good
yourself,
one.
man.
That was a good
you
one.
could never, you've never seen a console, an arcade. Oh man, I can't even.
All right, I guess we're about to go ahead and head out of here. We've been live for about an hour now. We
Yeah.
want to leave you guys with a video that actually just premiered earlier today. This is Call of Duty's Superpower for Hire. This is kind of a premise to what's going on what they're naming now the Call of Duty 2014. There's no official name for what that Call of Duty would be. We're kind of thinking it'll come out in November. Obviously, that's when the Call of Duty's dates always come out, and Call of Duty is now an annualized title. So I guess we'll take a look at Call of Duty Superpower for Hire. Before we take a look at that, we'll just close out the show. Got any last shout outs or anything like that? We do have a tweet that we got up in the show. And I didn't have the tweet set up, but we do have a tweet that I wanted to read. Earlier today, we asked a question of the day, and we'll kind of be doing some questions of the day as we go live every week on Thursdays. If you're on Twitch, you can find that at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. twitch.tv/1Life2Play. But we asked a question that one of the things that I was wondering is, it looks like we only got this like Spider-Man game out, Spider-Man 2, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. It came out before the movie came out. The movie comes out tonight or tomorrow.
Right.
But at the same time, we haven't seen a Marvel's game, Marvel's Avengers game. That's the one thing. Like, we had Marvel's with the Legos Marvel superheroes, but we haven't really seen a true Marvel's game or Avengers game. And I know one thing that's coming out, I just saw a story, and we'll talk about it more next week. Disney Infinity Part 2 launches later this fall, and they're actually bringing Marvel superheroes into Disney Infinity.
Really?
And I think that's really, really cool. But my question that I posed out to you guys on Twitter, and I still want you guys to answer on Twitter, is if any development studio made a Avengers game, which studio do you think would, make the greatest Avengers game? Like, what do you want? What studio do you want making an Avengers game?
When they made Wolverines.
Yep.
Wolverines is pretty good. Who was that?
So I actually don't know who actually. I probably should have looked at that. But we did get a tweet from, and this is one that I didn't think about, and this is the one I wanted to read. This is coming from, let's pull this in over here. This is Ace McKnight. He says, I would like to believe NetherRealm Studios would make a game. Now, NetherRealm Studios, I believe they made...
Where did I see that at?
They get what graphics? They were NetherRealms. Hold on.
So actually, before I put my foot in my mouth here,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they made a cool game that I'm thinking about right now. NetherRealms Studios. Before I put my foot in my mouth.
Cool.
So, is everybody looking for this right now too?
Yeah, I think we're.
I know
all
one of
just
the one of the big things. Yeah, that's where I saw the name on it. Now I couldn't remember if it was NeverSoft or NetherRealms. That was my problem with it, but it was NetherRealms.
Yeah.
They made Injustice.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so that's why it was kind of like speaking to me, because when I'm thinking about what they did with Injustice, how they brought DC characters to life, I'm thinking like if you gave them Marvels, I think you can do a whole lot more with Marvel characters in a video game than you can with DC characters. I'm sorry, DC really limits their characters and what they can do and powers and abilities and how much they differ from each other. Like when you put Superman and Batman into Injustice, they still kind of play the same, right? One has tech, one has powers, but they still kind of inevitably play the same. But when you look at Marvel characters, they're so different and so vast that if you gave NetherRealms the ability to make a Marvel's game, I think that would make a superb game. That would be awesome. And yeah, I am on the bandwagon for NetherRealms to make a Marvel's Avenger game or something, of even a new X-Men game. If you gave us Days of Future Past as a video game, give us that. Do something with the Marvel's license and make it a video game. Make it sweet, make it cool. So NetherRealms, they get my word up for that. And actually, Ace McKnight, you get the 30 days Xbox Live.
X-Men Destiny.
We need you to follow us. So if you follow us, we will definitely get you that code for Xbox Live 30 days free on us here at 1Life2Play.
Activision makes all the X-Men games.
So Activision is actually a publisher.
Okay.
We are looking for the developer.
Oh.
So
well, there was a.
On the right track.
There was a proposed.
We're there. We're almost there.
X-Men Destiny was proposed to come out in 2011, which would have been the most recent X-Men game, but it was not. And the developer was Silicon Knights.
Okay.
All right. Now we're backtracking. Was it X-Men official game? 2006, and that was published by Activision. But it doesn't tell me who the developer was. Great.
Oh, we're actually already following Ace. Okay, so looks like we'll send them.
Raven Studios developed 2005's X-Men Legends 2: Rise of Apocalypse. Remember the X-Men games was multiplayer?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I did like that.
And we, I had some fun playing.
Well,
those.
who made the Marvel games, the Ultimate Alliance?
Okay.
Who did that? That was I did like Ultimate Alliance. That was pretty fun.
Hold on, that's still here. Hold on.
It's on there. Ultimate Alliance.
Check it out.
Is it the fighting game, right?
No. That was like a little RPG, top down punch. What do you call it? Button masher. It's pretty fun.
Oh, it was just like the game that I was just. It's like X-Men Legends: Rise of the Apocalypse, basically.
Yeah, kind of like
X-Men Next Dimension, X-Men Legends, X-Men. I think it was X-Men Legends. There was like an Ultimate. Was like something that came out.
Yeah, I think it was Ultimate Alliance, and then there was Ultimate Alliance 2. But we're getting more into that next week. We've got to get out of here. We will leave you guys with, obviously, our credits. And like I said, we're going to watch this trailer for Call of Duty, which is titled Superpower for Hire. And then we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week in between time, too, on twitch.tv/1Life2Play. Make sure you follow us, like us, and subscribe to us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I think I got those all in the right order. Just search for 1Life2Play. What you got?
Definitely. Ultimate Alliance, that was Avengers and X-Men teaming up.
Yeah, so who made it? So like I said, we'll do it next week, all right? So next time,
Raven Studio.
game on.
Game on. Raven Studio.
All right, Raven Studio. That's nice.